Good morning, everyone. I'm sweaty. I just toted a ton of stuff. Ended up going to Ikea and picking up a few things for the classroom. I typically don't like to go to Ikea because it is kind of far, but I did it. I did it. I went to Ikea. And my bangs are stinking irritating. Ended up having to tote a ton of things on a wagon, like, what is it? Like a dolly? A dolly. And I had to go take the dolly back. Whew, I made it. I did it. All right. I'm gonna get a couple of things unloaded, and I first want to show you all of the things that I ended up buying at Ikea. So one of the first things that I ended up getting was the 4 cubed. It's exactly like my big one that I have over there, but it's a smaller one. I want to replace it with what's behind my table just because I don't like it. It doesn't really match and it's falling apart, let's just be honest. So I picked up a 4 cube system. I don't know. It's 4 cubes. I also picked up some curtains because I need to switch out these. I had these on the opposite side, but it's not gonna work for like our intruder drills. Like, we're supposed to have one of those tomorrow, so I need to flip-flop that. And then I'm going to put this with a rod going all the way across, so then when I do have an intruder drill, all I have to do is whoop, close it up, and then you can't see into the classroom. I also got my partner, today is her birthday, so I got her one of these storage systems, which I really love. I have one at home. Oh my gosh, my nails. But I have one at home. Picked up the little ends that go on the rod to be able to put the curtains up. I also got some new plants just because I'm weird. And then I picked up one of these chargers. Outlets? Don't know what to call it. Plug-ins for my USB items. So like my dash that needs to go in the back, he needs to get charged, so I bought one of these so that we can charge him every day. But yeah, that's all I got. I did also pick up a couple of items for the house, but I don't have that because it's at home. I'm still having a puppy. All right, I'm gonna go take care of this stuff, and then I will hopefully catch my breath and talk to you guys in a minute. I'm really, really hot now. I love plants. It's cool. Don't know if it should go there though. Let me do the rod now. Should have gotten a cheapo curtain. Okay, so there are about 2 different flaws in my design here. One, I need bigger hooks. And then 2, the type of curtain that we got doesn't have enough clearance. See, it doesn't have enough clearance back here, so it's hitting up against the wall. So I need to come up with something different for my design. I mean, other than that, it will work pretty stinking well, and I need to hem it. All right, so there's the space now. I like it. I like how better this looks, how much better this looks. So I'm gonna figure out what I wanna put in the other 4 squares. I don't think I'm gonna put all of the items that I've normally kept up there. So I'm gonna prioritize and move some things around. What do you guys think? I really like it. I'm very, very happy. I think this looks good. So now I just need to stop being an interior designer and do my job. Time to get ready for actual school stuff. I've finally taken a little bit of time to figure out what it is. Look at y'all, look at my bangs. Holy moly, come on guys. So I finally have taken a little bit of time this morning to be able to figure out what is it that I'm doing. So because we are going to have an assembly this morning, and the assembly is by grade level, it kind of messes up our class a little bit, but it's okay because we are doing JA BizTown curriculum. Because we have that JA BizTown curriculum, it kind of saves our butt a little bit, because we are all of the 3 classes are on the exact same lesson. So what we are planning to do is we're going to split them up by grade level, and we're just going to teach JA curriculum this morning in this like hour block that we have during this time. So that'll give us plenty of time to be able to teach the curriculum, go to the assembly, come back, and then for the rest of the afternoon we'll have like our normal rotation. So we'll start at rotation 1, 2, 3, 4, skip, we'll have 5, and then we'll skip 6, which is our JA stuff, and then we should be kind of back on track. That way we still get to meet with all of our groups, but we also get to teach, like we'll teach everything, which is really nice. And I see that my curtain is falling down on the other side of my door, which is kind of annoying. So I'm gonna get together my JA BizTown items and make sure that I have all of that done. The activity that I'm going to be doing with them today, we're going to do the Citizen Pledge, which they should have that in their JA books. I think it's on page 29. So we're going to look at the pledge. Then we're going to do a lemonade stand activity, which is kind of looking at businesses and free enterprise and goods and resources. So the kids are going to kind of get to see that, and there's a really cool lesson that you can do. This one is the string activity demonstrating circular flow, which I like this one a little bit more because there's more kids involved in it. So I'm going to pull together, see, it kind of looks like that, like everybody has a card, and then the string kind of goes back and forth so they can get a better visual of it. So I'm going to get together all of the materials for this, and then I have a meeting in about 30 minutes. So I feel like this year I've gotten a little bit better at having that really nice like work balance. This is always something teachers struggle with. I feel like we have a tendency that we like devote ourselves to our jobs like August through June so that we can have, or maybe August through May, and then June and July we can kind of have some time to ourselves and we kind of just soak it all up. But I think it's important to continue having that like work-life balance throughout the entire school year, but also giving it to them, like also having that work-life balance during the summertime as well. So last year was my first year as a Pennsylvania teacher. I taught previously in kindergarten for 4 years in Alabama, and I went to the new grade level, 4th grade. It was pretty good last year. I struggled quite a bit, especially through the very, very beginning of finding that work-life balance. I felt like I was always working, that I was always trying to figure everything out. And I was kind of in that moment where I was learning the curriculum, learning the kids, learning the school, learning the state, all that good jazz. This year, I feel so much better. Like I feel like I truly do give myself so much more to my family at home. But I want to also continue working on perfecting that. I don't want to ever think that, oh, I got it down, because I know that there are ways for me to make that better. So here's what I've kind of started coming up with. It's important, and I think that this is good because it's important to get an idea of how you run your days and how much time you spend doing certain things, and where is it that you have kind of like that free time where you're really not being productive, you're just kind of being lazy, let's just face it, where you could be using your time for something else. Not saying that like family time is lazy time, but saying that you're just kind of sitting on the couch and you're scrolling through Instagram. That type of time or use of your time is not productive to you. So here's what I'm doing, and I'm going to challenge all of you to kind of do the exact same thing this week. I created a little daily schedule in Excel. All it does is it has the times broken down by 15 minutes, starting from the time that I wake up to the time that I typically try to go to bed. So I am somebody that really likes my sleep. I need to go to bed at a certain time in order for me to really feel refreshed and productive and useful and not dragging on my feet. So I try to go to bed by 10 o'clock. A lot of the times I will go to bed by like 8 or 9 o'clock, but it just depends on the week. So here's what I've done. I've already blocked off my times, you'll see here, this is when I get ready. This is the time when I'm working. I've inserted my blocks of time in between to say, what is it that I've done today? So for instance, okay, this morning I was not a very productive person. This is not for me to like put an ideal schedule on. This is for me to kind of keep track of and say, what is it that I'm doing currently this week that is hindering my productivity and that is also conflicting with my family time. So for me, here's what I'm about to do. This morning, I spent the first 30 minutes of my time this morning rearranging my room. So I'm just simply gonna put rearranged my room. After that, I worked on getting my schedule up. So for my morning meeting, I worked on getting my morning meeting schedule up. I also looked through what it was that I was doing with my my groups today. And then on top of that, I made a phone call to my husband. So those were 3 things that I did from 7:30 all the way to 8 o'clock. So here's what I have. Excuse my nails, I'm not gonna show it to you guys. So I arrived, I got unpacked, I had coffee, had some breakfast this morning. By 7 o'clock, I started rearranging my room. By 7:30, I called my husband, did my morning message, and then I also looked at my groups to figure out what it was that I was teaching. During my lunch break, I had lunch with my partners, and during that time, we didn't really do anything. Okay? The second part, during my block for special, all I did was check my emails. After school today, we had a quick meeting until 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna put meeting. And then just now, all I have done is nothing. I have done nothing other than film. So I guess I can just put film. And right now it's 4:30. So here's my times, what I did in the morning. Then I had just had lunch, didn't do anything. Then here I did emails, and then here I had a meeting, and then I've also been filming. So I try to tell myself that I'm gonna get home by, like, I'm going to leave the school by 5 o'clock, getting me home no later than 5:15. That's what I try to do so that I can kind of have that, you know, 8 to 5 kind of schedule. But yes, so this is just gonna kind of help me see where is it that I'm really failing in being productive, so that I can start looking a little bit more closely into how is it that I'm wasting my time, or what could I be doing instead that is going to benefit me in a better way. Do you know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. Y'all are so smart. You got this. Okay, so I am going to take this, keep it inside of my planner, and then I'm just going to continue to log all of the things that I do. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get a couple of things cleaned up that I have, like some books over here on this side. Just walk around my room real fast, make sure everything's kind of in order. I've already, because during that 3 o'clock to 3:30 time that I had my kids, we ended up staying in our own rooms, and I was able to go ahead and get my plans done for tomorrow. So, okay. So here are my plans for tomorrow. I have my first rotation, my second rotation, third rotation. Then we have JA Biztown here, JA Biztown, my reading group, and then 2 more reading groups. Pretty basic plans, nothing super fancy, but okay, seriously. Pretty basic plans, but nothing super fancy, but it is done, and I have an idea of what it is that I'm doing. So I don't need to take anything home. I have everything pretty much prepared. All I need to do is just do a little bit of grading, which I need to do on the iPad because it's all through Schoology, which makes it pretty easy. So I'm gonna leave my lesson plan binder, my lesson notebook, be done. I'm not taking it home, and I'm gonna go home. I think we're gonna have leftovers tonight because I have a lot of food in the fridge that need to go like immediately. So we're gonna do that today. It's gonna be buffet style. This is what my hair's been doing all day. I'm like a bobblehead. I should have a bobblehead. I'm a little sad slash disappointed in myself because yesterday afternoon when I went home, I had full intentions to be extremely on top of it, and I was not on top of it, but I still decided to log everything that I did do inside of my calendar to kind of get an idea of what I do for the week. So here's that calendar again. Wow, that's bright. Here's the calendar. So when I decided that I was about to leave, my partner KT was like, hey, can you come over to my room? I just want to ask you a question really quick. She didn't want to come in because she knew that I was filming. So I went over there to her room, and she was like rearranging things. I love that during this time of the year, teachers like start to think, I want to have this different. I want to change this. I want to do this to my room, especially like during PSSA weeks. Like PSSAs, it's awful, y'all, because you're sitting around and you're like walking back and forth and you just keep thinking, man, I think I would like to do this. Man, this would be really cool to do this. But we are actively observing them and watching them. Okay, so I ended up not leaving until 5:30. I ended up not leaving until 5:30, which was 30 minutes way past than what I was going to end up leaving. But it was fine because we were just gonna have leftovers when I got home. So I got home, I spent some time with the family, just kind of sitting on the couch and just talking to them, getting to know their day. I ended up making dinner. Ian was playing outside with the neighbors, like he was riding bikes with the neighbors. Blaine was inside. And after dinner, I ended up helping Ian with his homework. And then I had some clothes that I did not sort away this weekend. So I ended up sorting out some clothes, and my husband was like pairing socks up, and we spent the majority of the like afternoon, evening doing that. So by the time I got the kids to bed, and I'm looking at my little sheet, and I didn't do this until like after I sat down. By the time I got the kids to bed, it was like 8:15 when I was getting them ready for bed. So Blaine and Ian were getting ready for bed. I got them down by 8:30. So at 8:45 or so, I was able to sit down in bed and actually do some work with my husband next to me. We were watching NCIS. We're trying to watch all the NCISs apparently. Like, they're really good actually. Anyways, so I kind of did a little bit of work in bed, but not a ton, and then I ended up going to bed at about 9:45 or so. So it was 6:40 when I got here. It is now 6:45, so I am gonna get my stuff unpacked and then start looking at a couple of things that I do need to get accomplished today. I had full intentions to do a vocabulary piece and then do a summary piece that I needed to have ready for 2 of my groups today, so I need to get that done before I have to head to my... Is that bothering you guys? Because it's bothering me. But I have to get those pieces ready before I have to go to my meeting. So I'm gonna do that, get my things unpacked, and I need to fix my curtain rod. But I think KT is gonna bring me some hooks. So that's just gonna have to wait. So my partner last night, when I was kind of helping her rearrange, she was going to get rid of this table. Can you believe her? Can't believe she was going to get rid of the desk. Now this desk, I know it's like an individual desk, but it is missing the drawer here. So she would always just kind of point it to the wall. And I'm like, well, you're not going to get rid of it. So I ended up taking it and placing it, because I am just a hoarder, and I placed it with the other 2 desks in this corner. And I actually think it looks really nice. I like the way it looks, and it just adds a little bit more space for when certain houses are like overflowing. So I'm not sure if I've actually talked about this, but I have my kids sit in their houses. So they were placed into 4 different houses at the very beginning of the year. Zygoda, Uamuzi, Arbitrium, and Indara. So they were placed into those houses, and those are kind of like their team houses. And I decided, gosh, was it like in December, November, or something to that extent? I think it was in December. I decided in December that I was going to make them sit all in their houses, because I was having a lot of issues with certain groups of kids that were sitting together. They weren't getting their work done. And this way, if I do have them sitting together in like the same general area, but not telling them exactly where are you going to sit. Does that make sense? So if they're sitting in Indara over here in this corner, then they can sit anywhere at that table. I don't care where they sit at the table, so long as they're sitting in their house. That way I can award points for when they are doing something and they're on task and the kids have their area cleaned up. So I like to be able to do that. So I feel like I haven't completely taken away all of their choice in like where to sit, but they do have to sit in their house area. So typically, like whenever I have an overflow of kids from certain houses, so then those kids would sit up there if they needed extra space. And Dara would sit over there if they needed extra space. And then I kind of have Uamuzi, which I never really have a ton of Uamuzi in my room, but I will have Uamuzi or Arbitrium start to overflow over here into this round table, and that is where they end up sitting. It works really well. I really like the classroom management of it. When I was in kindergarten, I did something very similar, but they weren't placed in houses, but each table was a team. And I told them, I was like, you guys have to work as teams. So I had a little doll called Super Steve. And Super Steve would go and sit at certain tables in the room because certain kids were doing great things. So by the end of the day, wherever Super Steve was sitting at whatever table, then that table would get so many points awarded. By the end of the week, whoever had the most points would get a little prize. Usually it was like a candy or something to that extent, something super simple. And the kids like ate it up. They freaking loved it. So I had little Super Steve because we were the superheroes in kindergarten. It was adorable. Anyway, all right, I got the majority of my stuff done. I have my pencils ready to go. My room is actually extremely clean. Well, I don't know why I did so great yesterday. So I'm pretty much put together, which is a good thing. Now I just need to work on a couple of things on my computer. My partner teacher, KW, is out today. She got sick really bad last night, so I'm going to help her get her plans together. So I'm just gonna quickly print out like her schedule and then just get some items together for her subs so that she has something for them today. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I'm gonna get started with my vocabulary and then something else. All right, I'm gonna get my work done now. I wanted to share with you guys something new that I am trying for my morning meeting. I really love doing morning meeting, and for those of you out there who do not know what morning meeting is, it's a time for you to kind of build that community within your classroom. It goes along with the responsive classroom, so if you haven't heard about that, I would definitely Google it. But there are so many great blogs and materials out there that you can definitely look at to kind of get a better idea of what morning meeting is. But in morning meeting, you have kind of a process for which you'll go through. The very first part is the greeting that you'll do. From there, you have a share time, you will have an activity, and then you have a morning message that you go through and read. It's really great. You can put in so much curriculum into these, but I love the part where you're really just building those soft skills and you're really building a community as a classroom. That to me is probably the most important part with morning meetings. So I wanted to try something a little bit different because I wanted it, one, to be a little bit easier for me to plan. I feel like I was starting to get myself into a rut, so I've been doing it now for 2 years. And then I did it in kindergarten, but I did it like an improvised version in kindergarten because I didn't know a ton about it, but I had an idea because I was going through and researching and looking more things up online. So my version in kindergarten was a little bit improvised, but we still did morning meeting. Here I had like the full-blown, like here's kind of the training of it. Well, I decided that I wanted to try something different because, again, like I said, I was feeling a little bit in a rut, so I wanted to do something that would kind of liven it up, make it easier for me to plan, but also would be beneficial for my students. I really wanted to make sure that I was giving my kids the best that I could possibly give them. So here's what I came up with. In kindergarten at my old school, we used to have, you guys like how I'm bringing up kindergarten a lot today. What's up with that? Anyways, so I had, at my old school, they would have a word of the week. And it was so cute because the kids would listen to it over the intercom. I would write it up on the board. We would talk about it. And I said, well, why am I not doing that here? Why am I not doing that with some of the words that I feel like my students are needing to kind of learn about. So this week we did persistent. Like persistent, what does persistent mean? And I wrote it inside of my morning message, kind of had it in a sentence so that the kids were able to read it and figure out, okay, well, what does this word mean, without actually giving them the meaning. And Monday was meaning Monday, so they had to tell me what they thought the word persistent meant, and then we had kind of a discussion of what it really was. From there, we have activities, and I couldn't do the activity yesterday because we had an assembly, so our morning meeting was cut super short. So I'm gonna flip you guys around so you can kind of see what my plans look like. So this is where I write my morning meeting plans. So for morning meeting, I told you guys the word of the week is persistent, meaning Monday. Tuesday is talk it out Tuesday. Wednesday, I haven't come up with one yet. And then Thursday is think it Thursday. Friday is feelings Friday. So here's the part that I wanted to do. So like every day we're going to do something with this word persistent that's going to be inside of my morning message so that the kids can really think about it, and we're going to talk about it, share things about it. So that's going to include my morning message, and it's also going to include my sharing time. So that's that one piece. The next piece over here, which is the activity, I had Monday for none. Tuesday, today, we're going to do a minute to win it. So I wanted to think about games that were consistent along the lines with being persistent. Like I wanted them to do activities where they had to try to be persistent and show what that word actually means. So on Tuesday, we're going to have minute to win it. That's today. And today we're going to do one with cups, and we're going to do one with paper. Tomorrow's going to be hacky sack, and I haven't come up with anything for Thursday yet. And then Friday, typically I will do some type of board game with them because they just truly like it, and I let them just kind of talk. In kindergarten, Friday was Friday, and the kids got to pull out like the toys and stuff, and they got to play with toys in the morning. I let these kids do it too because they're kids. I mean, let's just be honest, like my 6th graders, sometimes like they act like 5-year-olds, like they are like big kids. Some of them are like bigger than me, but I want to give them opportunities to talk and to, you know, just have a good time and really kind of build that community. And I feel like it's important for my kids to have that on Friday. So Fridays I do typically try to do like a Jenga talk, which Mr. G does, so definitely go and check them out, check his stuff out if you haven't, because I have all of his Jenga talks and they're amazing. So a Jenga talk with them, I will do some type of like spoon game, some type of headbands game, something that's like a board game-ish that the kids will just kind of enjoy and be able to laugh and just goof off and just be fun and just enjoy each other. Like that's what it's all about. I want them to build that community. So I thought that that was a really cool idea, and you guys let me know what do you think about it. But this week is persistent. We're doing some activities with persistent, and I'm going to show you the activity today that involves the cups and the paper, that they're going to have to show some persistence. They're going to have to be a little persistent with being able to accomplish their goals. So I'm going to show this one to you guys. Look at all those cups. That'll work. Scissors. Okay, so here's how this game works. All you have to have is some cups. The kids are gonna have, I don't know, I guess I could do like 3 or 4 cups. I haven't quite decided because I haven't, to be honest, played this game ever. And then what they'll do is they're going to have pieces of paper, like so, right? Just some square paper. And they have to stack their cups using the paper, which is not the hard part, right? Oh, maybe. And then what they're going to do is they have to pull the paper and drop the cups down. So is this how I do it this way?
I don't know.
I don't either. Okay.
You gotta go fast.
Oh, that was pretty freaking close. Okay.
You also have to make sure they're lined up. See, that's not lined up.
What if I did it like this, and so then it just had to go in?
But that would be fun.
Okay. Y'all, I'm obviously doing something extremely wrong when it comes to my eyes. Yesterday, probably around lunchtime, maybe it was a little after lunchtime, I had eye pain again, and I had it this weekend too. And I don't know, I guess like my partner said maybe it's just like dry eye, like my eyes are just dry and it's causing like irritation. But I got to the point where, if you saw that one video where I had to like leave school and go to the eye doctor because it was hurting so bad, I did bring some more drops, and my husband brought them for me too, and it kind of put sorry, and I had to put my eyeglasses on, sunglasses. It's like not dark, not sunny in here. But I had to get my husband to bring my eyeglasses so that I could put them on yesterday, like halfway through the day, because my eye was hurting so bad. And it's just this one. It's not even this one. It's just this eye. So maybe my eye's just done. Maybe it just like is gonna give up on life and just say, screw it, you're just gonna be in pain 24/7. So I'm just gonna wear my glasses probably for the rest of the week. I really get irritated like back here with them, and I just think it's because they're too loose, like they need to get tightened back to like my head side. It's like I feel like they're wider, so I feel like my ears are trying to constantly keep them up. Anywho, I'm sorry I ended up not vlogging yesterday afternoon. To be honest, I was like, I'm just going to be done with the day, and I got myself ready for today, have all my stuff out ready to go. I feel super duper productive and proud of myself because I was able to get so much done. So yesterday afternoon, here's kind of how I left everything. So here's my table, here's how I left it. I have a few books that need to go back to the library, some papers that need to go to the office. I have my lesson plan book open. I have the resources out and available for me to start getting used to, and somebody brought this and put it in my room. And then I have, it's cute. So my kids have been putting their phones inside of this box. It was their idea, not mine. So they have like a little box that they have to put their, this is the one that I used for like that parent night. And they are just been sticking their phones inside of that. So that's kind of what that's for. And then everything is pretty much cleared off up here. Have my targets ready to go for today. My back table is nice and neat and clean and orderly, which makes me feel super good. And then back here on this side, I have my morning message. What a wonderful week so far. Yesterday we practiced being persistent by pulling paper from under the cup tower. With only a few victories in hand, we all continued to be persistent. But what if you had to do something that wasn't easy, and day after day you struggled? Life is not always easy, but it's worth it. Warmly, Mrs. S. And then I used this. I haven't been using it, but now one of my kids said, why don't we use it for like announcements? I was like, kudos, lady. Like, you rock my world. She's like organization after my own heart. So today we had, don't forget to add your books to books you have read to your house. That's kind of outside of our doors. Like, we all have like house papers. Friday is a half day, and then all PBL groups need to have their text structure packets turned in by Friday. So that's what I have here. And yeah, feeling good about life. I brought that white chair back so that I can wheel around. It's so much easier. Let's turn on my lights. Okay, so yesterday afternoon for J.A. Biztown, we did a really cool lesson, which I was very, very excited about. It's taking us 2 days to get through it, which I don't think is like an awful thing because we started it as a huge group and then we set off into our rooms for the kids to be able to do it, and now we're gonna come back. But the lesson talks about free enterprise and being able to open a business and using different resources, whether it's capital resources, natural resources, human resources. And the kids were put into little groups. So they had to create a prototype. So we started talking about prototypes and then production and mass production and that type of thing. The kids had to create prototypes using a certain amount of paper. Like, they had 5 sheets of paper, they had 1 marker, 1 stapler, and I feel like there was one more thing. 5 sheets of paper, 1 marker, 1 stapler. No, I think that's it actually. And they had to create a prototype using those resources and only those resources. And so the kids created their prototypes yesterday. Today they're gonna present their prototypes to the entire group. And then afterwards, we're gonna send them out to start working on mass production. They're gonna start to kind of see, oh, well, my product is a little bit more time consuming. I need a lot more resources. There were some kids who were really, really smart because out of 1 sheet of paper, they were able to make probably like 4 or 5 different resources, and they didn't like 4 or 5 different prototypes, but they didn't realize that because we haven't talked about it yet. So we're gonna kind of have that conversation afterwards, which I'm really, really excited about. So that is what we're gonna do today. This morning, today in general, I think is pretty much a normal day. I feel like, what did we have yesterday? Oh, we had a intruder drill in the morning. So we did one of our drills in the morning. So that kind of took up our morning time, and we weren't able to like meet with groups in the morning, which is was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. We have to practice drills. That's the way the life turns, right? So this morning I finally get to meet with my morning crew, and then I'll meet with my afternoon crew in the afternoon, obviously. But so yes, today is like first full like a legit day of school because Monday we even had an assembly in the morning. So both of my mornings the last 2 days have been a little screwed up. I have been telling you guys that I've been trying to think of morning activities that go along the same lines of the kids being persistent. So we're talking about being persistent. I want them to try different activities that require them to be persistent. So today what I have them doing is I have the kids using yo-yos, and I feel like yo-yos is one of those like old like time like arts that it's died out. There's not a lot of people out there that use them, and I feel like that would be a really good way to show them that you have to be persistent. So that's another activity that we're going to do today. Alexa, play classical music.
Here's a station for classical music, Classical Focus, from Amazon Music.
Y'all, I am tired today. We had such a busy day, but it was a really good day overall. So I am pretty much cleaned up for today. The only thing that I would really like to be able to do is get out my morning message, so I don't have to worry about that in the morning. I am gonna take my my resource binder that's just got all of my plans on it. So I am gonna go ahead and take this home. There's a few activities that I would like to make, but I think what I'm gonna do is just go home early, spend some time there, and be able to kind of make those resources at home versus me staying at school and doing it. So I am gonna be taking my binder. I'm not taking my teacher planner. That pretty much has everything ready to go for tomorrow, so I don't really need to stress out about it. I do need to make a quick stop at a store, which is why I am ready to get going. But my room looks so unbelievably clean. Look how pretty my room looks, y'all. And my table area looks good. My board looks good. Yay! By the way, those are my 2 curtains that I have for when we have intruder drills. Do you guys like them? That one's kind of funky right now, and I need to fix it, but that's what it looks like. Looks nice. So what I think I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna get up my morning message, so I don't have to worry about it in the morning, and then I should be ready to go for morning meeting other than that. So I'm gonna take a minute, get that up, and then I will be ready to head out. Here's an ugly looking 4-leaf clover. So well. Okay, morning message is up. My reminders for the week are good to go, so I don't have to do anything there, and I am ready to go home. So that is a wrap. I'm gonna go home, make some dinner, spend some time with my family, and then get some much needed work that needs to get done. So I'm gonna go off and do that, but really quick, I kind of want to show you my outfit because I've been getting a lot of people like complimenting me. So here's what I'm wearing today. Okay, I'm just gonna have to show it to you guys like this. So I have this jacket that I've had, gosh, for like what, 3 or 4 years now, from J. Crew. It's just like a green military looking jacket with like gold finishing on it, which I really like. I have this like plaid looking shirt from Target that I've had for, I think, since fall at least. And I really like it. It's really cute. So it's just like a long sleeve one. Underneath I put like a little lace tank top just so that people don't be seeing my business. And then I have some new black jeans, work pants from Ann Taylor Loft, which I really like. And then I have these shoes, which I don't know what these are. I've had these forever. Vince Camuto, I don't know how to say his name. Vince Camuto. I really like his stuff. Super cute. So those are these booties, and they're really adorable. They hurt my feet like crazy, but they're adorable. But I think it's really cute. I'm also realizing that I'm becoming lazier and lazier when it comes to my hair. I just put it up in a really awful looking bun, but it works for me. I'm most likely gonna have it like this tomorrow because it's easy, I'm not messing with it, and I still think it looks pretty cute, right? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna head out. I hope you guys enjoyed that little OOTD, and I will see you guys in the morning. Don't really know what's going on over here. I'm just gonna ignore it and just go about my day. So I didn't show you guys, and I don't remember if I showed you guys, my planner that I've been trying to keep myself in up with throughout the week to kind of figure out what is it that I'm doing, and to kind of get an idea of whether or not I am wasting time in certain spots. So I wanted to show you what my yesterday and maybe even my Tuesday, because I can't remember if I showed you Tuesday, see what it actually looked like. So here is what it looked like for yesterday. I did get here at 6:40. Well, no, I actually was at Walmart during this time, so I actually don't know why I filled that out for the entire week. I went to Walmart yesterday to pick up a couple of things. Got here at about 7:15 or so, started sharpening pencils, emailed, and then I did a little bit of grading. Over here in this area, I just simply had lunch, so I'm just gonna write lunch. And then during my next break, I spoke with 2 other teachers, and then I went, right after school, I pretty much started cleaning up, and then I actually got home at about 4:30 or so. From there, at about 5, I started dinner, I cleaned up. By the time I was finished cleaning up, then I got the kids ready for bed at 8 o'clock. I watched TV with my husband for a little while, and then I ended up going to bed. I did absolutely no work. My entire plan was for me to leave to go and get work done at home, just because I didn't want to stay here, and I was already feeling kind of tired. I was feeling like I just needed to get out of the school. And it did not work for me at all. So I do have quite a bit to catch up on today. Luckily today we are having conferences in the afternoon, meaning that it's going to be a very late night for me. We are going to be here until probably 8:30, so I won't be getting home until probably about 9 o'clock, just because conferences are that long. Tonight is gonna be a late night, so I'm planning on just staying here all day. I did bring some items for the table for the drinks. Like I usually take care of all the drinks, so I brought waters, and then I bought more mix pineapple, Sprite, and lemonade to be able to mix up the drink that I mixed up for last conferences. And I also bought a little bouquet of flowers. Aren't those pretty? I was planning, and I didn't show you guys this, but I was planning on using the pottery that I made. So if you've been watching for a while, then you know that I went to my mother-in-law's and I tried to do a little bit of pottery. We had a kiln reveal on Sunday, so I got to go and look at my pottery, and it was really exciting. This is one of them. This is one of the ones that I did. See, it's got the pretty like blue green. I really like it. Anywho, so I was planning on just using this. I was going to cut the flowers, place them inside of this, and put it on the table so that there was just like a little bit of color on it. I thought it would be pretty. So I did get some of those things this morning from Walmart, which is why I'm here just a little bit later. I got here at about 7 o'clock this morning. Just unpacked. Now I'm gonna go through and start looking at my plans. I wanted to do hacky sack this morning for my kids' morning meeting activity. We're talking about persistence and being persistent and not giving up when things are difficult. And I couldn't find any hacky sacks. Like, why are there no hacky sacks in the world? Anyway, so I figured what I would do is I'm gonna go ask the PE teacher and see if he has hacky sacks, because someone said down the line that there may be, like, he may end up having some. I'm gonna try there, and if I don't, then we're gonna do an activity with ping pong balls where you have to like bounce the ball into the cup. That's what we're gonna do, because I have plenty of those from when I did the Minecraft day the other day, like last year. We've crafted our potion.
Yes.
What? Here he comes.
Yay.
Everybody get down. Here he comes. Oh, I have plenty of ping pong balls. I just got a couple of extra. I'm gonna go check and see if the PE teacher is here so that I can get the hacky sacks for this morning. My morning message is up, so I don't really have to worry about that, which is really, really nice. Everything is really clean. All I have to do is sharpen a couple of pencils, and then I get to spend the rest of the time just kind of working. Alright y'all, so here's my setup for this morning. I have everything ready to go. I have my CPM book opened up to the pages that we're going to be using. I'm doing Orton Gillingham with my very first group, which is really meant for dyslexia, but it's a really great way to be able to practice words and sounds and spelling patterns and writing sentences and all that good stuff in between. That would really benefit some of your like lower level learners, or if you're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, this is a really, really great tool to be able to use. So we've been working on blends, and specifically I've been doing DR with them, and this little buddy here, we came up with some words and he started writing the der, op, der, ill, der, ag, and then we're going to start working on a sentence this afternoon or this morning. We also continued working with these. I gave him some words that had blends in them, but we had to also listen in for the vowel sound, and he did such a really, really great job with that. And then we also use this for texture and being able to actually feel the word and trace it. So, for example, on this one right here, you can see that it kind of looks a little bit different, and when you kind of put your finger over it, he can trace the word because it has that texture to it, so he can feel it. And so he was going D-R, der, D-R, der, D-R, der, and it was a really great tool for him. So we're going to continue on with that this morning, continue on with our book, Meet the Bobs and the Tweets. Sweet Kids last week, they were not here at all. They were both sick, so I never even got to work with them on this book, which was a little sad. So I'm bringing this book out. We're going to continue working on it with characters and really looking at characters and understanding our character traits and being able to identify those from the text. So that is what I'm going to use for them. I think what's going to happen, because my block 2 that I have, so my rotation 2, I don't really have any kids. I use it as an independent math time. My hair is just funky today. So I use it as an independent math time, which allows me to assist any of the students within the MAC team with any math that they need me to help them with. So I think what's going to happen is my partner KW, she has a couple of kids that just need some extra practice. Like they're doing good, they're fine, they just need a little bit of extra practice. So they're gonna come to me for rotation too. I'm gonna work with them on orders of operation for 5th grade algebra, and then that's really about it for this morning. We're gonna continue on with J.A. Biztown. I do need to look at that and spend some time this morning kind of figuring out what is it that I need to make sure that I'm doing, and then get some of my things for my small groups ready to go. All right, it's almost time to get the kids in here. I typically have the lights shut off just because I really like it to be calm and quiet. So I'm gonna get some music started. Alexa, play classical music. I'm gonna get my door open, make me some coffee, and start greeting the kids to come in. It is 9 o'clock in the evening and we just got done with conferences. I am not taking a single thing home with me because of the simple reason that I'm gonna just go home and go to bed. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm kidding myself if I think I'm gonna do anything. So I am gonna turn my lights off and just go home. Conferences went really, really well. I'm hungry because all of the food that we had gluten in it. And I was not thinking for some crazy reason about dinner. I thought about lunch, didn't think about dinner. So it's my fault for not doing that. But yeah, I'm going to head home because it's been a very, very, very long day for me. And I will catch you guys in the morning. I finally wore my hair down this week and it's Friday. I just walked in today. It was kind of weird and nice to not have to bring anything with me today. It was really nice, actually. All I did was pick up my keys and my phone and I just came. That was pretty awesome. Today is a half day for our students, so that means that they are only going to be here until 12 o'clock. From 12 to 12:30, they're going to be dismissing the students to go to the gym, and they will dismiss them from there to get to their buses and, you know, cars and that type of thing. We have conferences starting at 12:30. So from 12:30 all the way until 5 o'clock, I think we have conferences with parents today. Conferences went really well yesterday. It was just really nice to be able to sit down and just have a conversation with parents. Like, it wasn't so much about, well, here's the standards your child's meeting and here's the standards your child is not meeting. This is what they're like, we talked about what they're working on and where they are, but we more had a conversation about the whole child and who they are and their personalities, and, you know, what are some things that we would like for them to be able to grow in, areas that we want them to be able to grow in, and areas that we feel that they're just really strong at. So it was good just having conversations with parents, and I don't know, I've been enjoying these conferences. They seem a little bit more laid back, a little bit low key. I feel like the beginning of the year, parents are still trying to get to know you. They're starting to get to know, like, the school and, you know, the program. So it went from all of these questions about how we're doing things to, I don't really have any questions. I just want to know, you know, how's my kid doing? And it was just a great opportunity for us to have those conversations. This morning is going to be kind of a busy morning for me. I got here a little bit, well, a lot of bit later than what I typically get here. I just wasn't like, when I typically have to like wash my hair, it's like one of those days where it ends up being just a little bit later for me, but that's okay. So this morning I said it was gonna be a little bit busy for me because at 8 o'clock I have a meeting, at 9 o'clock I have a meeting, and then at 9:15 I have another meeting. I do have somebody coming in to kind of cover for me for my class so that they can just kind of watch them while I'm at these meetings. But yeah, it's kind of a busy meeting today. It's like a busy meeting day kind of day. So, whew, I will be taking 6th grade today. So this morning what we thought we were going to do is get our kids together for their PBLs, talk to managers, talk about, I think we're trying to play with the idea of not doing STEM for a few weeks and giving the kids the opportunity to work on PBL every single day during those STEM times, which I think they were really, really excited about. So we're going to pull them together. We're going to have that conversation as a big group. We're going to sit down and look at our schedules as like departments And I'm gonna have those managers kind of look for some similar times where everybody can kind of maybe get together and have opportunities to work as like department teams. So that's kind of the plan for this morning. And then once 4th grade gets ready to go to lunch, like we'll split into our grade levels. I'm gonna take 6th grade today, and we don't have a ton of 6th graders. So I think what I was gonna try to do, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to execute this because of course my ideas all come to me at the very last minute. But I thought what I would have them do is almost just kind of curl up with a book. It's Read Across America week, and we've just had such a crazy week and trying to create things normal for them, just with all of the assemblies and the drills and everything else in between, that we were just like, you know what if we just have them, I'm gonna have them like create little forts and sit in their little fort and read. So I have one partner that's bringing me a couple of flashlights. I'm about to go to the office and see if I have some. If they have a couple of flashlights I can borrow. And then I know that those little touch lights, the ones that you push down, the little round ones, I know I have some of those. So I'm digging in my closets looking for them, and going and getting some batteries from the office so that my kids can use them today. So we'll see if I can execute that. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we're gonna attempt it. So that's kind of the game plan for today, and then we have conferences all afternoon. Okay, really quick, wanted to show you guys what we do as far as like a setup goes. The burlap I've had for years, and I just kind of keep it inside of the classroom, and then we had another black tablecloth, so I just kind of add a little bit of a layering there. I try to be cute. I don't know if it really works, but we always keep out waters here. This is where I made my punch, which is lemonade, like powdered lemonade, pineapple juice, and Sprite, and it tastes so good. We always leave out some type of cookies, and then we always try to have flowers as well. So, but yeah, so that's kind of our little setup there, and then we have our sign-in sheet as always. I still haven't found all of my little flashlights, and I don't think I'm going to end up finding them. It is like a crazy mass chaos inside of this closet, which I got it better from last year, but it's still nowhere near where it needs to be. You see my closet? Oh, it's a lot of stuff. All right, I might try to look through some of this and see if I can end up finding anything. No luck finding anything there. I think I'll just message out people and see if they have any. Gotta try, right? Y'all, my idea is coming to life. So one of the 6th grade teachers, who is a math and science teacher, he very kindly saw that I was like up front, and he goes, "Did you find flashlights?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't." And he goes, "Do you still need them?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you have any, I would gladly like take them." Apparently we had like a science closet, which I'm not fully aware of apparently, but so we have a science closet where they have a ton of flashlights. So I have enough for all of the kids to be able to have one flashlight. So the tents, individual tents, kind of where I can actually see them, like not full-blown tents, but little forts are gonna come to life today with flashlights and darkness and reading, and I am so excited. So that's kind of what we're gonna do today. I am flipping excited about this. I have just got out of my one meeting, so I have one more meeting that I need to do this morning. Actually, no, I take that back. 2 more meetings, because one of the meetings is my post-observation. We've had some crazy weeks, but it's my post-observation for my post meeting for my observation that I had a couple of weeks ago. So I'm gonna go sit down with my assistant principal in a minute with him to review our observation, and then I have one more meeting for another student this morning. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna open the door up now, get the kids, and let them start coming in. My 6th graders had such a great time with building their forts and having flashlight reading. I was so excited and so thankful that the science closet did have the flashlights, because they absolutely loved it. So we're planning on kind of purchasing just a few more, because someone said that Harbor Freight has them in packs that are pretty cheap. So I think what I'm gonna do is go and grab some more packs because there's just not quite enough for like our fourth graders and our fifth graders. So we're gonna get a few more packs just to be able to kind of supplement that, so that the next one, the fifth graders can do it and then the fourth graders can do it, because it was a really great thing and they enjoyed it a ton. So it went well. They cleaned up for me, so my room is pretty much picked up and ready to go. I think what I'm going to end up doing, because our first conference does not start until 2:30. Now we go a little bit later than most people, so I think our last conference is at 5. And we do have a chunk of time from now, which is, right now it's 12:32, and we don't have it until 2:30, so we have a good two-hour chunk. I figured what I would do is I'm just gonna go sit in KT's room, and I'm gonna try to do some planning and some grading and try to get some of that done, so I don't have so much to do over the weekend and I can really just rest this weekend. So I am gonna get my morning message up. I'm gonna switch out for my this like week, any announcements that I have for the week, and then once I do that, I'm gonna clean up my stuff and then I'm gonna head over for some like work time. Okay, I really don't have any announcements, and look at that, my roll is starting to go away. That's sad. But I don't really have anything to put down for this week for announcements just yet, so I left it kind of blank. I can add to it on Monday if I realize that there's some other items that need to go in there. Actually, we start One School, One Book on Monday, so I need to add that in there too. But I do have my morning message up tomorrow. Next week we're going to focus on being positive, and I have a few activities that we're going to do with positivity, so I'm excited about introducing that piece to them. And yeah, everything's pretty much ready to go now. All right, I added Monday in there. So we have our pause meeting on Monday morning, and then we're kicking off with our One School, One Book. So that's gonna be really exciting. I will share more about what we do with One School, One Book next week, and what book we actually selected.